Hey everybody, what's going on? I want to thank you for joining me today. We are going to be reviewing my guitar. Well, one of my guitars, Gibson Les Paul Traditional. Now, before we get started, I know Gibson has received a crap ton of negative press lately for running over hundreds of guitars with a bulldozer to settle an insurance claim. They've sued other manufacturers claiming their guitars look too close to their designs, whether it be the body, the headstock. You know, this has been going on since the 70s, but it seems like it's really been popular the last few years. You know what? I don't care. I buy guitars because they sound good, they play good, they feel good, and they look good. This one checks all the boxes for me. This guitar is Heritage Cherry Sunburst finish. It looks a lot brighter red for some reason on camera than it is in person, but it is what it is. Anyway, give you a closer shot of the 2A flamed maple top. Oh, look at that. Almost looks like you could dive in and swim in it, right? Yeah, you can. It's just a nice looking guitar, nice looking top. I really like some of the flame tops. Some of them get a little bit crazy for my taste, but everybody's different. Everybody likes something different, and that's what makes the world go round. It'd be really boring if we all liked this guitar, all played this guitar. It'd be a terrible world, right? Exactly. Now, when it comes to instruments, I tend to like the more vintage looking guitars, you know, Strats, Les Pauls, things of that nature. I've never been a huge pointy guitar guy. I did have an Explorer, a couple Explorers actually, back in my younger years when I wanted to be the next James Hetfield. But you and I both know that's not going to happen. Now that's not to say those pointy guitars don't have a very important place. I don't think metal would exist without them, right? I mean, wouldn't it look funny if Metallica played hollow body guitars or Slayer played hollow body guitars? I think that'd be crazy. So it's really cool that we live in such a world that has such a wide variety of guitar designs, finishes, features, whatnot. And it gives us all guitar nerds a real good excuse to nerd out on some of the specs of these things. All right, let's get back into it. Pickups in this guitar, I've got a Burstbucker 1 in the neck, Burstbucker 2 in the bridge. They're a PAF styled humbucker, and that just means that they're supposed to sound like the vintage guitars from the late 50s, early 60s. A lot of people don't like these pickups, and then again, a lot of people do. I particularly like them. They get real nasty when you crank the volume up on the guitar, and they clean up really well, and I can get everywhere in between. I really like them. Bridge and tailpiece on this guitar are Tone Pros. They're nickel-coated aluminum. The reason they did that, it was just so it was not quite as heavy. And if you've ever picked up a Gibson Les Paul, you know they're heavy guitars. This one actually, by comparison, is quite light. This one weighs 8 pounds and 12 ounces. Some of the older Norlin era customs from the late 70s, those things are 11.5 pounds plus. They're ridiculous crazy. I have enough back problems just from being fat. I don't need any more problems. Anyway, back to it. This guitar has a 24 3/4 inch scale. That's pretty standard across the Gibson range, unless you get something, you know, a Buckethead signature model, something like that. The fretboard radius, it's 12 inches. Now, for those of you that don't understand what fretboard radius means, think of it this way. If you were to draw a circle, this circle would be 12 inches, okay? And if you took a slice off the top, that's the curve of the face of the neck. 12 inches for me is very comfortable, and everybody has their own taste. A lot of the Fender stuff, you know, they have 7.5 for the olders, maybe even 7.25, 9.5 for most of their modern stuff, which, you know, I also like that, but I really don't like the 7.25 inch radius, the older vintage instruments. They're just too hard to play for me the next two round. It's kind of like the front of me, right? Anyway, back to it. 1/4 inch jack input on the side, which as you see, mine is cracked. Gonna have to order a new one of those. Gibson Deluxe tuners on the headstock there, as you can see. And I think the nut, I believe it's Tectoid, I think is the name of the material. It's got a bound neck, which means it has binding on the neck, and a bound body on the body. This is my favorite type of guitar. I am a Les Paul fanatic, always have been. I bought my first one, which was a studio, probably, geez, oh man, I don't want to say, it's been about 22 years ago, but it has. You know, I'm old. And that studio was a great playing guitar. It was an early 90s model. It had a ebony fretboard, actually. Loved it. And that just had me hooked. Then I owned a white custom after that, which I ran into hard times and I had to sell it. But anyway, neither here nor there. We've all had to do that. Hopefully you never have to sell a guitar. But it happens, right? This one, I've got strap locks on this, just Ernie ball. They're the multiple ball bearing. I think there's two. Let's take a look. Four ball bearings in these strap locks. I put strap locks on all my guitars just because I don't want to drop one and break it. Unfortunately, Gibson Les Pauls are very prone to headstock breaking due to a few things. You can see the angle of the headstock here, and if you ever seen one that was cut in half, the wood is really thin right here where the truss rod is. Crazy thin, and it doesn't take much to break them. They break in their case. If you drop the case, you just got to be careful. I've owned several, and I've never broken one yet, right? Knock on wood there. That really just about wraps it up, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope to see you back again on my channel, and we're going to go ahead and do a few sound demonstrations real quick, and then we'll let you get back to what you were browsing. All right, here we go. This is the neck pickup. Neck pickup at just about full volume. I always back off my volume just a little bit, but the neck pickup sounds a lot like this. Yeah, terrible plan, I know, but you know, that wasn't the purpose of this video. Middle position, that's a blend of the two pickups. Just gives it a little meatier sound. Let's turn the volume up. That helps. And then on the neck pickup, gives you your slash type of tones, real throaty sounding. It sounds like this. When you back off the volume, these pickups are great. I was talking about this earlier, how they clean up really nicely. This gets you into the Zeppelin territory a little bit. Gotta be careful. I don't want a copyright strike already. And when I back off the neck pickup, real nice for blues, gives you this sound. Nice sounding guitar. Everybody has their own preference. I really like this. Thanks for watching this video. Please like my channel, subscribe to my channel. If you have any ideas for content, any questions, don't be afraid to comment. Thanks again. You all have a great day.